Please come. Have a seat, please.
How are you?
Fine.
And how have been these few days at this SSB?
Very fine, sir. It was a fun.
Things you like, things you would like to improve.
So I like that the teachers are, very interactive, very motivating, sir.
Very nice. So you're staying in Bangalore,
Yes, sir.
and so is your father here.
Yes.
All right. So you like Bangalore?
Yes, sir. Weather is very fine, sir.
What do you like the best?
So weather and the environment here, sir. Everyone is very, busy here. They're motivated towards their lifestyle, and everybody is coming to Al Lake morning 5 p.m. I like that.
Lots of people, Nansur Lake.
Yes, sir.
Morning morning walk, job. Or
Morning running, every age group people are coming there. So that I like very much. In Punjab and also the people are very careless about their health. So that's the thing I like about
Punjab. That's why you're saying that.
Sir.
Anyway, it's not that all people in are casual and careless. They're very good businessmen as well in Punjab.
Yes.
So every place will have its own specialty, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's a weather which you like. And anything you know about Bangalore? You have been staying here for quite some time.
Yes, sir. I know that there are many army establishments as well as there is a training command of Air Force here and sub-area. And there are many establishments.
Apart from defense services, anything which is famous you would like to
Yes,
go on?
sir. HL is here.
Also, it's called the Garden City, IT.
Yes, IT. It's IT.
I know.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of nightlife goes because a lot of youngsters are.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
That is.
I know. Alright, Pradeep, say in the next 15 to 20 minutes we'll talk more about you covering areas like your education, family and leisure time activities. I've gone through your PAQ, come to know a lot about yours and your activities. However, I would like you to speak about yourself and your activities in greater detail. Right? You place that it's an interaction between two people, like you were quite comfortable and relaxed and smiling. So let's do it, okay? I want you to absolutely relax because we are only talking about you.
Yes.
Right. Suppose we start with your education. From 8th onwards, I would like you to tell me the percentages you scored and the subjects you have chosen for further studies up till now. The various competitive exams you have attempted and what is basic aim in life. And in case this does not happen, what is your alternate career options? Who are your close friends? The things you appreciate about them and the advice you have exchanged between each other. Teachers who impressed you and those who could not. Your participation in extracurricular activities and if you have achieved your achievements, I would like to know. And if you held any position of responsibility. And if so, the most difficult situation you have faced and how did you solve it? You can start.
I would like to start with my 8th grade. So I was not very much into studies that time. I was more of an outgoing student. So
I can see that.
So then after 9th class I got a bit serious. I moved into a new place, Army Public School, Roorkee.
Yeah.
So I was very much into studies that time. So I availed 78% there. But then
Which standard?
9th standard. 9th standard I availed 78%. And then I liked that it was a nice improvement for me. But then again in 10th class I oversight the studies and I went more into basketball. So that's why I got a little I felt I had a rejection that it was not a very good marks which I scored in 10th class. It was 75%.
Alright.
So then I focused that this way it not happen if I want to go into army. Then I moved into a more focused area. I joined a boarding school, Indus Defence Academy, to prepare solely for NDA. It was led by Colonel S.P. Seema. He's a mechanized infantry retired. So I moved there, sir, and then with my hard work I scored 82% there. Then, sir, the teacher I liked are Major Pankaj, sir, because he was my mathematics teacher, and since my childhood I was not into mathematics that much. So I liked the way he teaches. He was very grounded person. his way of teaching was very innocent, very honest person, sir. And the teacher which I don't like is same mathematics teacher. We had two mathematics teachers, sir. One was taking care of ND and one was CBSE. So Mr. Pankaj was taking care of CBSE. So I liked him very much. He made mathematics interesting for me, sir. I really started liking mathematics. But whereas Dr. Baljeet sir, he was taking care of NDA. So he was respectfully more of a talking guy. He used to plan very much. He will do this, he will do that, but he was not able to execute it. Many times he got absent or something. But respectfully. And friends with sir, I have a very large number of large group of friends. This is one of my advantage being an army bred, that I am really adaptive. So I tend to make a lot of friends wherever I go. I tend to adapt to situations.
Very nice.
Also, any inspector.
If you try to remember them.
Yes,
you'll
sir.
get them.
Extracurricular activities. So, I was since the very childhood I am a team sports player, sir. I'm really very much into fitness. I have some of my achievements are I'm a black belt karate, national player.
Excellent.
Also, I'm an NCC B grade, B certificate holder with A grade, sir. Also, some of my achievements are I've represented district at national basketball.
Yeah.
And I've also played football but did not represent anything but played for my school team.
Okay.
Also I've been into athletics 100 meters district. I've been third position there.
Very nice. In your 11th, 12th.
Yes.
And I asked you, like, you didn't tell me percentage you scored in 8th, 11th, and also the various competitive exams you have done till now.
Yes.
What have been achievements? What's your aim in life? What is the alternate career you have kept in mind? And the most difficult situation you faced while you are holding a position of responsibility, how did you solve that?
So my 8th class percentage was 72%, which was not very much. This was the percentage without preparation, sir.
No problems.
So,
It happens.
In 9th grade, sir, I scored 78%, and in 11th, sir, 11th was a really tough class, so I scored 83% there. I was third in class.
Okay.
And sir, the competitive
And
exams.
you scored around 82 in your 12th.
Yes.
Alright.
And competitive exam which I prepared was only NDA, sir.
Alright.
I was not very much into JEE. I was not really wanting to join some engineering colleges, or I was not focused. I was really confident that I'll go through NDA, I'll make it to NDA, but after the first attempt, I realized that there should be a backup plan. I was not able to clear it, go through the NDA, so I searched for various private colleges which conduct their own examination like VIT, SRM, KIIT, because I was not preparing for JEE, so I was not very much into that. So that's why I targeted some private colleges.
Okay.
So I gave examinations of VIT, SRM. I was able to go through and make it, but the stream which I was getting was not the preferable stream which I wanted. I wanted computer science because if not army, then I wanted to excel in the other also. If not army, then the brilliant branch of engineering, that is computer science. So I was hoping for computer science, but did not got computer science in VIT and SRM. But fortunately, I got computer science in KIIT, sir. Then I booked my seat there and got through. So now I'm a first year student.
The classes are online right now?
Online right now, sir.
Okay, so when are you expected to join?
So they said ki after January they will hopefully call us. But
We're
then
still
again,
looking at the situation.
yes, sir, because again Omicron is. Yes.
So you have been telling me that India has been main objective of your life, right?
Yes.
And you have done all these extracurricular activities to support that.
Yes.
But I see that you seem to be intelligent, there is no doubt about it. So let's forget about the scores you got in ND2 because you are focusing on ND exam. But ND1 I think you didn't make it.
Yes, sir.
Why?
So I feel, sir, because lockdown come into play and we were all sent back home. So the preparation which I made was all at home. But I was confident that the preparation I did was very, very fine.
Is it that you are overconfident of your abilities, that's why you think you can achieve but you are not able to achieve in the probably this competitive field?
No, sir, I feel the preparation which I made was quite to get through the
And
mathematics.
which part of the preparation you didn't do well? Is it mathematics or is it? How much did you score? What were your scores in the NDA one? And what was the cutoff?
So the cutoff for math, so there are two cutoffs. Basically, GAT portion there is a separate cutoff,
Yeah.
and there is a separate cutoff for mathematics. So for mathematics it was 120 questions, 120 marks for mathematics portion, and I scored somewhere around 80 to 90. And in GAT portion, sir, I scored 250 plus. So the problem was, sir, I had to make through the mathematics. So since I've already told you mathematics was not my strong subject, so I was planning accordingly to just go through the
So
mathematics.
which arm of the army you would like to join? If you suppose you got NDA and you are going to the academy, okay, when you come out you have to give a choice, right?
Yes.
Which arm of the army you would like to go?
So I feel I'm competent enough to join any of the armed
What is the
services.
choice I'm asking you?
Still, if I had to choose, I'll choose any of the arms, sir, preferably infantry, just because, sir, my father is already giving his contribution in services, so I would like to go for the arms.
Which battalion is he from, your father?
So he is SLR services, sir. He is a chief record officer at CMP.
There must be some unit or battalion.
Corps of Military Police, sir.
Actually, he's in the Corps of Military Police. Is it a serving or support? Which one?
So he is a support, sir.
Would you like to go into the same or would you like to go into the infantry?
So I would like to go into the arms, sir. Infantry.
Infantry. So there is small, I keep hearing, I'm not from the army. I keep hearing there is some infantry and mechanized infantry. What is the difference and what is the role?
Basically, sir, infantry are foot soldiers, sir.
Yeah.
But the mechanized infantry, sir, they have their own personalized vehicle, like BMPs and all, so they can travel also. They are also foot soldiers, but they can go, make movements around their BMP.
So why don't you give the same thing to the normal infantry people also?
Because the foot soldiers are also important, so they are the ones.
If they have to move, they have vehicle, they'll be going faster, no?
Yes, sir.
Alright?
Sir.
No. Anyways, that's fine. But probably once you join the army, you'll come to know more about it. Generally, since you are so interested in the army, you are an army brat, I would say, army child. Can you tell me how the army functions and a little bit about, throw some light about army?
So, the army organization is one of the organizations which I aspire the most, sir.
I understand. At least you should know how is it functioning.
Sir, the structure.
Yeah.
So the first of all is the headquarters, sir, at Delhi. It's a command. And after that, sir, there are corps. Then under that,
Delhi, that headquarters is the command.
yeah, no, sir. So the above command there is headquarters, that is at Delhi. And after that there comes command.
Okay, how many commands are there?
7 commands, sir.
Alright.
Then after that divisions, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. After command there are corps. After corps divisions, sir. Then units, subunits, and then sections. No, platoon, sections.
Good, very nice. I know you know the structure and all. So typically, what does a corps pertain to? What you said corps. So there must be some divisions, some battalions, some units and all. Do you have you done some research on that? How do they function? How do they fight a war? And what is the difference between an operational strike corps and the holding corps, something like that I've heard?
Sir, get back to you, sir.
Very good. I appreciate the knowledge you have on army. But I was going a little higher, how much of depth you have gone, that's all.
Sure, sir.
I'm happy that at 12th standard the student has good knowledge and understanding about these things. So you said that you joined a special school, which
Indus Defense Academy.
yeah, so which specializes in NDA coaching. So compared to your other friends, you must have a lot of friends. You said.
Yes, sir.
Though you didn't tell me about what the things you appreciate in or their names, you can tell me that now. But how your friends, close friends of yours, have fared in the NDA exam? During the various stages that 2 years you have spent, they must have observed something. Of course, maths is a big area, so they must have given some suggestions how to improve, how to practice. So, what are those? If you can throw some light on that.
So the type of friends which I made was, I never really looked into qualities first before making them friends. Sir.
I'm not saying that you look. Generally, you come to know about people, then you appreciate their qualities and become close.
Yes. Sir.
Because the frequency match and all these things. You could be a sportsman, good at studies, things you speak, a lot of things are there. If you could tell me about something about your friends.
Yes, sir. My friends are really supportive, sir. I tend to take, gain their trust every time. They feel that I'll be supporting them I'll go through anything which come their way. And
can you give me some example? Like how did you gain their trust?
So there was a competition, a basketball match against juniors and seniors. So we were into studies that time. So the juniors challenged us that come, let's see. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I was the sports captain, sir, basketball team captain. So the willing students, I bring them up and I motivated them. We will do it, and nobody was really.
You were seniors or juniors that time?
We were seniors, sir. We were seniors, and juniors challenged us.
So there is no requirement of motivation. Acha, the parents have told and let's kill them sort of a thing.
So some of them were not interested in playing, sir.
Okay, so you got them.
Yes,
Can you tell me ये तो prestige का मामला
yes,
है.
sir. ये तो इज्जत की बात है, sir. Then, sir, we somehow managed to console the pressure and all, and we won the match, sir.
Somehow managed. Come on, you are such a good basketball player. How is it that you must have thrashed them?
Sir, to motivate them, sir, I also had to put my capabilities to best, sir.
Like what?
So I have to even show how it is done. If I had to be standing.
Actually, there were not very many good players in your.
No, sir, that was not a basketball team.
So you made a game plan so that
yes.
you can achieve something. But
Yes.
the juniors were good at basketball.
They had their own, it was a team, they come all together, sir. In the academy, they joined together. So there were 3-4 people already into basketball. But we, arranged the team, made the team who somehow had played somewhere in their life.
Okay. So this basketball, what you talked about, you said that district and school level you played.
Yes, sir.
So you must have had a team, no?
Sir, after that we prepared our teams.
Okay, with juniors and you.
Mix, sir.
Very nice. Okay. So tell me, like, what is the advice that they will these friends of yours?
Sir. So this my friend Diljit, sir, he's a really close friend of mine.
Mhm.
He has cleared NDA 3 times, sir. He is really good into maths, sir. He's from a government school, but his English is not up to the mark. 2 years back, I'm
I said, what is the advice he has given you? You're telling me about his qualities.
Yes, sir.
And weaknesses.
Sir, so no, he wanted me to teach him English, and I wanted him to teach me mathematics, sir. So he told me that mathematics come with practice. Until and unless you practice it, it won't come into hand. So, sir, this is the one advice he gave me, and also one advice my friend gave me, that you are really straightforward, so try not to be that.
Like what happened?
So, I used to tell people on their face if you are doing something wrong, if you are not
You
playing
were
up
class
to the
leader
mark.
or monitor or something?
So I was a turnout monitor, sir.
As a turnout monitor.
Sir.
So you used to check their uniforms
Yes, sir.
and say that he is
Shoes,
not.
socks.
But that's what you are supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
So you did.
Sir.
And he's saying that be soft.
Sir.
What did he say?
Sir, he said, don't get so rough at giving the mistakes, coming out the mistakes. And also one friend of mine told me that you are really helpful, so don't be that.
What kind of help you have done that? Like?
Okay, sir. It was a class 8th class
I
time.
think he's talking about the academy Indus. If he's telling you about the Indus,
Sir.
and he doesn't know what you have done in 8th standard, then you are in a different school.
Sir, so what I did was, my friend Akash, sir, he's still my friend. We have talks. So, sir, it was science class, I remember. It was science class, teacher were giving us notes, we were noting it down. So, Akash did some misstep. So, teacher told him to go out of the class. So, I don't know from where I got up. I was making my notes as well as his notes all together, sir. As I used to
Same
note
note, so you
down.
can copy later, no?
No, sir. I don't know what happened, but I was noting my
Basically
notes.
noting his also, so that he doesn't.
Yes, he doesn't left behind. So everybody was praising me in the class.
You didn't join NCCC certificate.
Yes, sir. I had NCC.
You said in NCC B certificate you were A grade. And
Yes.
NCC certificate.
No, sir. I'll weigh that in college, sir, first week.
Acha, you have to go to college.
Yes.
So it's only till B certificate.
Yes.
Oh yes, that what you are saying is correct. Okay. You talked about karate.
Sir.
Okay. So what is the form of going to national and being the India's champion? You must have done at the student level. What is the general practice? Or how does this competition are done? And who declares that who is the champion of India in karate?
So there are different styles under karate, sir. Mine was Shotokan, but there are others as well. So they have their own criteria upon which they get into. We were defensive kind of style we had.
What I'm talking about, in your style,
Sir.
there is some organization. How do they conduct these competitions? What are the levels they have to clear? There must be some categories also, juniors, sub-juniors, or age group. Something must be there.
Yes.
Ultimately, the best man has to be the champion.
So it was the age was the basic parameter, sir. So we used to conduct age-wise. So first of all, there was a zonal, sir. So all the Zilla Parishad people used to come there.
Okay.
Then after district, then state, then further, sir. Open nationals or nationals.
So this athletics, what you're talking about, was it in 11th? You not well?
No, not good, sir.
You want some water?
No, thank you.
This 100 meters, something you said.
Yes.
Huh? So this was where? Which stage? Was it in your school? Or is it in your 11th, 12th, or before that?
Athletics was in 11th, sir.
11th, in your school?
Yes, sir.
That is to. Okay. So you came first in 100 meters.
Third, sir.
Third. And how much did you? What was your time?
So 12.59 seconds, sir.
12.59 seconds. And the first who came?
So he was somewhere around 11.10.
And what is the world record? Who holds it?
So I guess Hussein Bolt, sir, he is somewhere around below 10 seconds, sir.
Should we boycott Winter Olympics?
No, sir, I don't feel that. Because it gives opportunity to a lot of people, a lot of sportsmen, sir. It is.
I understand that's why these Olympics are concerned.
Sir.
But there are other concerns for which a lot of voices have been raised that we should boycott Winter Olympics. What is that? What is
So
this?
that is, I feel, regarding the dress of the women. Women athletes, sir, because some of the countries they were saying that women have to wear some short dresses. So that was a concern.
Winter Olympics.
Yes.
So cold. How will they wear short dresses?
So that was the concern.
Generally, what are the things they play in Olympics? I think in Winter Olympics, what games constitute Winter Olympics?
So ice hockey and basketball, also football, sir.
Okay.
Then there are athletic events also.
Very nice. Sure. So, I asked you, you have been holding a lot of leadership positions, like positional responsibilities. So, I asked you what is the most difficult situation you came across. How did you solve it?
So the most difficult situation I feel, sir, to motivate the chaps, sir. So
Which chaps?
the teams, sir, sports team.
You was a sports captain or something?
Sir, football.
Okay.
So while playing football, sir, I really have to bring out the best capabilities out of
Absolutely,
So
that's what captain is for. I'm asking what is the most difficult situation, you understand? Situation. Suppose you're having a tough opposition game, something happens on the field while you're playing or before the field. So you come across a lot of situations. Did you come across any tough situation? I just wanted to know that.
Sir, basic problems. So they were not very tough situations. Meager problems
You
to
could
arrange.
handle it easily. It's not an issue at all.
No, sir.
Okay. The only thing is you could not handle mathematics.
Sir.
Hmm?
Sir.
So suppose I give you one more chance. 6 months you go back. You are still in the 12th. Lockdown has happened. You are at home.
Sir.
How would you change your routine in order to overcome this mathematics issue?
Sir, I would.
Okay, you can tell me about your routine. Once this lockdown happened, you all went home. What was the routine at home, and how would you change it now in order to make sure that you do some mathematics properly and you should clear that cutoff of 1.3?
My regime was, sir, I used to wake up at my rising bell was at 7 a.m. sir. Then I used to have breakfast 8 a.m. Then I used to get ready and breakfast and all. Till 9 I used to sit at my study table. Then sir, I found out a YouTube channel, Math Jugaad se, sir. So I really liked that because it was, he used to give me tricks.
I understand. So from 9 o'clock till what time you used to see this Jugaad channel?
12 sir.
Okay, 3 hours.
Yes sir, he used to, previous year question he used to make us solve. So that I used to follow. And after that, I used to take a break for 1.5 hours, have lunch and nap for a while. Then lunch. Then I used to get back at the GEAT questions. It was again the Math Jugaad channel. They conducted English, science, chemistry, physics basically. So then I used to follow up that. And then I used to open my NDA Pathfinder, sir, and then do the practice which is required. So the regime which I wanted to change is, beside watching, I should get into practicing more. That is what I want.
Those 3 hours you probably should get into.
Yes, sir. Not more of a watching, but practicing. And also, sir, Math Jugaad say why I followed that channel.
Which part of mathematics were you are weak? You know, there are so many types of mathematics. Algebra is there, calculus is there, percentage is there, something is there. So which part is your weak area?
So I feel algebra because that was taught to the early childhood, so that is a bit weak portion, but I recovered it to a required portion, and also calculus. But trigonometry, I feel I am prepared well.
Okay, good. So trigonometry is your strong point. Where other so you don't do any physical exercises.
I do so.
So in your routine it is not there.
So that was the lockdown time, sir. The routine was.
Lockdown also, but eased after a month or so. You're still at home.
Yes, sir. I moved back for a month to Chandigarh, sir. But now for after the 12th exam, after March, sir. After March, I'm at home and I go to play basketball at CFP Center and
You don't run or something like that.
Sir,
You don't run.
I run, sir. On Sundays, I wake up 2-3 hours early to go to a Lake for running, sir.
So how much do you run and how much time do you take?
So I run for 5 kilometers on an average, sir, and I take around somewhere around 25 minutes.
Then what would be your speed?
Sorry, sir.
Then what would be your speed?
Sir, my speed would be 7 to 8 kilometers per hour.
But why can't you calculate accurately? I'm giving you 25 minutes, 5 kilometers.
Sir.
What will be the speed per hour?
Sir, I didn't understand.
If you are doing 25, you are taking 25 minutes for completing 5 kilometers. What would be your accurate speed for in kilometers per hour?
So somewhere 6, sir.
25 minutes you are taking 5 kilometers you are doing.
Sir.
In 25 minutes.
Sir.
And in 1 hour, that is 60 minutes, you do 6 kilometers. Right?
Sir.
Anyways. Alright, that gives me a fair idea about, about your education, your, stay at various schools, Army public school, the Indus schools and all these things. And now, you did tell me, you told me that you would like to go into the computer science and you joined that, right? Very nice. Okay. So let's talk about something about your family. I would like you to tell me about family members, their occupation, income, general activities when you are all together, you indulge in, and what is your contribution to your family? Who are your friends in your neighborhood, or in your colony, or somebody with whom you interact, and what activities generally you do? And how much is your expenditure on yourself? That is something like pocket money. You get something study pocket money, your father with, or it is as and when. I would like you to talk about these things.
So in my family, there family members are my sister, elder sister. She is doing BDS.
Okay.
And she is currently at Pune doing her internship. And my mother, she is a housewife. Sir.
You wrote she is a BDS surgeon.
So dental surgeon. Sir.
Dental surgeon. She has already finished her BDS and gone for further studies.
No, sir. She is doing an internship. That is the last year of her graduation. Sir.
Do they have any higher studies after that?
MD, sir.
Okay.
They have MD.
But
Masters
with
of-
BDS, they can be called a surgeon.
Yes, sir. After they have availed the degree, they are surgeons. Sir.
Oh, fantastic.
Then my mother is a housewife, sir. And my father is currently serving in army. He's an army officer at CMP. So after I moved to boarding school, we already got very close, sir. Whenever I used to come to Chutti, so we used to go to long walks.
With whom?
My father and mother, sir.
Okay.
So we used to go walking or to attend parties together. So we used to spend time on Sunday watching movie on TV. And used to sit and chit chat, sir. With my father, he used to tell some stories about his childhood, some incident which happened. We also go to vacations, sir, in Punjab, like Chutti, sir.
Okay.
Also,
So you are from Gurdaspur.
yes, I am from Punjab.
Okay.
And what was the other question?
General activities, your contribution to your house, thereafter who are your friends in your neighborhood, what activities you do, pocket money.
So my mother, she most of her time she spends in the drawing room, sir. Drawing room. So I used to bring out some time for 10-20 minutes. So every day, the most of the time I try to go and sit around her, and she asked me what are the news of today, what are the things learned today. So we talk.
Oh, good. So you discuss news with your mom.
Sir.
Very nice.
She watches YouTube and she is now into current affairs. So she asked me, pokes me, what is the current news? Tell me about that. And I also help her in kitchen sometimes, sir, to serve my dad some food or something when he comes from office.
Mm-hmm.
I used to give him plates food. And also we spend time. That's it. Also, sir, on the
You must be having some friends also in the colony.
yes, sir.
What activities you do when you meet?
So basically during the lockdown, sir, we were
Obviously, I can understand. During lockdown, you are not permitted to go out. Now this lockdown is over and it's almost a year now.
So, but in the lockdown, sir, we were allowed to move around the colony, sir, not to go out the colony.
Okay.
So during the lockdown only I made some friends. When I moved from hostel to my place, sir, we used to come down and play. There's a badminton court there, sir. We
Okay,
used
you
to play.
should play that.
Yes, sir, and I used to pamper their dogs, sir. One of my friends, she has German Shepherd, sir. So I used to pamper her. But now, sir, after the lockdown is over, I am more into basketball and gymming, so I go with my father.
Okay. So, but there will be other guys also with your age in your colony.
No,
Where are
sir.
you staying?
Sir, Sandeep Unicreation Officer in place. Major Sandeep. It's a near commercial street, sir.
Okay. So that must be having lots of officers, isn't it?
So they have, but they're not really my age group of students. Are
So
there,
you must be getting a little bored.
yes, sir. So that's why I moved out, sir. I go with my dad to basketball games. I play with CMP basketball team, sir.
So what does your father think about you? Who are you? What are your strengths? What are your areas which he feels that you should improve on? And also, what do you think about your father? What areas he feels that you feel that he should improve?
So during the childhood, sir, my father was not really, happy with me. He used to make fun of me. कुछ नहीं होगा. But now, sir, after for the 4 years, especially the last 2 years, sir, he has really started believing in me. He has started thinking that I'm a really wise person and sincere person. He used to think that I'm a sincere person, but because I was not into studies, so he used to
Obviously, I
bother me.
understand it.
Yes.
But why would your father think that you are sincere and hardworking and you can achieve? Because your performance has been very poor. How can your father think? I think he's a wise man.
Sir, because my father told me to.
He put you with a lot of money into industry. You didn't do well.
Sir,
Now, if you talk about JE, you did do well. NDA too, I don't know how would you have done. Your area is maths. You're focusing on more on YouTube. You know your weakness, but you don't know the solution. So how can your father be happy? I don't know. Your sister is doing so well. She's a doctor or no? She's doing BDS, she's qualified, she'll do MD.
so my father was really not
What
bothered
is the
about.
advice he gives you?
So when I moved to college, sir, so for the hostel, sir, he told me only one thing I'm bothered about is the alcohol part, sir. So I told him don't worry about that.
I'm talking about what are the advice he gives you.
Yes, sir. So
as to improve your personality.
sir, he advised me to read personality development books, sir. He himself is a ferocious.
What is his observation on your personality? Which areas he wants you to develop? If you're interacting on a daily basis, go on for walk. He'll be giving some advice, no? He doesn't talk.
So he talks, sir,
Alright.
on Sundays. So he motivates me to read books, sir. The personality development self-help books. He is not bothered about
That
the
means
amount.
he feels that you need to develop which part of your personality?
He thinks I'm a wise person, sir, but just to enhance it more and take it to another level, he instructs me to maintain a habit of reading and
Understood, got his
journaling.
points. So what do you think about your father? Which areas he should develop?
Sir, I feel he's a really hardworking person, sir, but I
Which
feel
areas he should develop? He should develop more hardworking abilities?
no, sir. He should develop his very careless about his money, sir.
Why do you say that?
Because there are certain aspects that he can cut short the money and save it, but he
For
gets
example?
careless about it, sir.
Can you give me an example?
Sir.
What advice you have given him where he can cut down?
Sir, so some subscriptions, sir. He
Which
can,
subscription?
sir, like with his SIM card, sir, he gets a subscription, lifetime subscription for Netflix, but he will still he will leave that subscription which he is already getting, but buy another subscription, being careless that he is already getting, so he'll waste some other. This is just one example, sir. So this is the portion I feel he should be more concerned about the money and issues.
Why unnecessary waste money? We are getting some facility from some others. Very nice. You said that you discussed current affairs with your mom. Tell me what is lately you've discussed the current affairs, and if you can throw some light, or current affairs is very important for SSB. So which topic you are very confident of, and you can speak for 2 to 3 minutes.
I can talk about, sir, the COP26, sir. COP26, it's a climate change conference by the MUN. They are the countries which have the top countries like China, US. It is a country. This conference is basically concerned about the climate change, sir.
Alright.
So India India has the emphasis. He wants other countries like the developing countries to focus and contribute towards this.
Who? India.
Yes, sir. India has laid down certain aims and objectives that up till so and so years, 2050, we have to reduce our carbon emission up to 0%, sir. We have taken that as a opportunity and as a responsibility, and we are also wanting other countries to do so, sir. And also India wants the other countries to maintain its carbon level, and we should not exceed our temperature.
Maintain carbon level means which other countries are we talking about?
Sir, all the emerging countries, sir, all the developed countries like US, China, sir, India.
US is developing. China
It's
is
developed, sir. They are developed countries.
Which other developing countries are you talking about?
India is a developing country, sir.
No, you said other countries also should maintain their carbon.
Sir, Australia, Japan, sir. These are the countries, all over the countries, sir, they need to maintain the temperature of the globe till 1.5 degrees Celsius, sir. This should be the aim. So India is
1.5 degrees Celsius where?
Sir, the global temperature.
Global temperature 1.5 degrees.
So it is the aim. It should not go beyond that.
Is the global temperature 1.5 degrees? At which point of the globe you are measuring it?
So I don't know.
If you don't know, you should say that I don't know. Why you're telling things out of your imagination? I don't think you discussed this thing with your mother.
No, sir, this was not the topic.
I asked you, the one which you discussed with your mother. You must be confident because you discussed.
So you said to speak for 3 minutes.
I
That's
understand. So, and what else? Your any other point?
Yes, sir. India is blaming other countries for the global climatic change.
Which other countries are we talking about?
China, sir, and US specifically, sir.
So what do you, China and US have to say about it?
So they are not even participating in this conference, sir.
So what is the validity of the COVID-19? Who will implement these things?
So India is expecting to give it an example for other countries by maintaining.
By being a leader, you follow me.
Sir.
So what, my economy goes down? What happens if I have to reduce my carbon emissions? What are the industries have to shut up?
So I think
It will affect our economy.
shutting down will affect our economy, sir. So we are leaning towards technologies like carbon absorption, sir. So we should.
Can you give me an example? Carbon absorption.
So we can.
Is it carbon absorption? Is carbon gas?
So,
Is carbon a gas for absorption? How can you absorb carbon?
so we can absorb it and
How?
purify it.
Okay, we can absorb and purify it.
So-
Is first of all it's a gas to absorb. What is the form of carbon?
Gas, sir.
So, if you know any technology or
So we are leaning towards artificial intelligence, solar panels to reduce down and to give energy to the projects and not.
correct, absolutely solar panels produce electricity, so therefore your carbon emissions will be reduced.
So,
Right.
and also artificial intelligence.
What will artificial intelligence do in carbon emissions?
So the artificial intelligence will not emit any mode of carbon. So we are leaning towards artificial intelligence to reduce the carbon emissions.
Yes, alright. Fine, that gives me a fantastic picture about you, your personality, your culture, what about you, your sports, games, your knowledge levels, your analysis of the situation. So, what areas in your personality you would like to tell me? Or you identify? What are your strengths and what are your areas you would like to tell? I want you to be specific and to the point.
Some of my strengths are I am very a really self-introspective and improvising person, and I am straightforward. I am really helpful. These are my strengths. And aspects I would like to improve upon are being a resident person, sir.
Resident person
Means to
grounded person.
no, sir, to maintain his affairs on my own. I handle my things my own, sir. So being that, sir, taking care of all my things, if I have to travel, I'll take care of that on my own. I'll take decisions of my.
That you are already doing, no?
Yes, sir. So because of that, sir, I am a little less understanding towards other person's point of perspective, sir.
For example, why do you say that?
So, sir, if I had to take a decision, sir, about which one should I focus more on boards or NDA? So I would like to take advice of other person, but I am less. It is a possibility that I'll be less concentrating on his advice. Rather, I'll do it of my own, sir. I'll take decision of my own.
That's not supposed to be. You listen to all the advice and take a decision of yours. What's wrong in that?
But I don't understand their point of view, sir.
Like what? You didn't understand whose point of view? That's what I'm trying to understand you. Like somebody is given an advice. What advice they have given? And what did you understand?
So my sister told me to focus more on boards because that is the one and only opportunity you get, once in a lifetime. So focus on that more. But I was more into NDA. So that was the advice. I didn't think of her, thought her.
So what do you want to improve? That you should listen to your sister.
I want to improve to be more understanding, sir.
To understand their point of view.
Yes, without judgment, I should be able to understand their reasons for the particular action or particular statements.
I understand. Because that's your, what do you call, evolving child. You have to evolve. So good that you have, taken the perspective and point of view of your sister, that you should have concentrated on the boards. Unfortunately, they can't come back. But at least you can implement them in future.
Yes.
Right. So, in case you don't make it, by any chance, I am sure that you should make it. By any chance, this is for which entry over there?
Technical 10 plus 2, sir.
Technical 10 plus 2. So, will you go into the fighting arms after this?
Yes, sir.
Which arms?
We can go to any arm, sir.
Okay. Infantry also?
Yes, sir. But the technical graduates, after the graduation, we cannot, sir.
So, when can you now? After this, how many years of training is there?
Sir,
So they can rate. What kind of training do they get?
so in OTA, we have to go to OTA, sir. Technical graduates go to OTA. OTA Gaya, specifically.
No, you. Suppose after 12, when you get selected, where will you be trained and in which stream?
So OTA Gaya and we'll be taught engineering, sir.
So you can't go into the fighting arms.
So we will get an option, sir. One of my senior told me that you will be asked where.
Did you ask your father?
About this, I didn't ask my father, sir.
I think he's in the army, he can find out much better, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Anyways, it was very nice talking to you and knowing about you. And I think you have got a very fair chance of making it. And I'm sure that a little bit what you realize about yourself, you should be able to do it. And I wish you the very best.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.